friends, this is Provi the Inept, and what's going on here? Is this a podcast? Not really. It's not a podcast. I'm only uploading this to YouTube. But anyway, I'm joined with my best friend Justin, aka Smiley Dank. What's up, Justin?
Hey, Smiley Dank and Hizzy. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing today?
I don't think they can answer you, dude.
Well, it's okay. Leave how you're doing in the comment section below.
In the
Show
comments.
my boy Provi. My bad. I don't know where the fuck that came from.
I don't
Show my
either.
boy Provi where the true love come from. Everything, do it in big.
No, seriously, I know there's a few people out there who are watching my videos already. Like, let me know how you're doing. Dude, I just finished the last episode of 13 Reasons Why. I don't know if you listened to the podcast I did with Babblefish yesterday.
I haven't.
I talked about it. Oh, gotcha. I talked about this a little bit on the show yesterday, and I hadn't actually finished it until today. And let me tell you, what a fucking heart-wrenching show that is. It's not for everybody, and I don't recommend that you watch it because with your anxiety and stuff, it's just going to be a bad time. It's very tough to watch, dude.
Okay, I appreciate you looking out, homie.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great show. What I talked to Freddie about yesterday, that show's gotten a lot of flack. Basically, people saying, it glorifies suicide, this, that, and the other thing. And, like, in my opinion, it's not really glorifying suicide. It's just kind of bringing awareness to the issue. But it's brutal because, and spoiler alert for anybody that hasn't watched it, it's pretty old now, so I'm sure most people have. They actually, in the last episode, they show the actual suicide, and, like, it made my stomach turn. Yeah, super tough, and they also deal a little bit in other issues besides suicide. Like there was one episode where one of the main character, Clay, his best friends passed away in a car accident, and like, I mean, that happened to Baron just a few months ago, and I've had other friends that have passed in car accidents, so like that episode in particular was really rough for me.
Right. Yeah, I can't deal with that negativity right now. I can't. It's just, no. Too much.
Yeah.
Too much.
Yeah,
Like,
that's why I recommend not watching it in your case.
yeah. So, we had a little bit of a conversation rolling earlier before we started recording. If I can fucking English.
Let me just, for anybody who's listening who's curious, I had started the recording in Ableton, but not in OBS. So like, I didn't realize it. So like, all that was recording was my voice. I felt really dumb about it.
Oh man.
Yeah, this 1/4-inch jack is like having issues here.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh no.
It's like, it's got to be in like a specific position for me. That's what the issue was earlier when I couldn't hear you. The adapter's like got to be in a specific position for you to come through fully.
Huh, that's weird.
A little bit. That is what it is.
That
you
is
have,
strange indeed.
yeah, you have my other two. I'll get them back eventually. I need that USB dongle too for the keyboard.
Yeah, I know where it is. I only have one of your 1/4-inch adapters, I thought.
The other one should be attached to the other headphones I brought you.
Oh, yeah, I do have that one still.
So, have you taken a look at those or no?
I have actually. And I don't know what the deal is with them. To be quite honest, I've opened them up as best I could, and looked at the wiring and everything, and honestly, the wiring seems to be intact.
Gotcha.
And I don't know. I think it's honestly just a bunk driver.
Is the driver stored, like, is there memory in the headphones? Because like, I even tried plugging them up to my phone, and it was the same situation.
When I say bad driver, I mean like that's another name for speaker.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
See, I'm not an
all that.
audiophile like you are, so
Yeah,
I
no.
don't know these things.
Yeah, no, there's drivers, 15-inch drivers. It drives sound waves basically.
Gotcha.
That's kind of how you look at it. But yeah, I think I honestly think with because the soldering and everything is beautiful, to be honest. The wiring is all intact. There's no pinches anywhere. You know, everything seems to be in line, but it just, I don't know. It's very strange. Got me
A little bit.
stoned.
That's fine. I have those Sennheisers still in my Amazon wish list. Actually, on your profile still. I need to change that. I need to move all my stuff over from yours to mine because I'm already paying for Amazon Prime because of Twitch Prime, and I don't plan on canceling it. So
Yeah.
let me see here. Oh man, I thought these were more expensive. I'm looking at the Audio Technica stereo headset that's in my wish list. I really want it. It's like $200, but I misspoke yesterday on the podcast with Freddie. I thought they were like way more expensive than that.
Ah.
Oh, don't tell me these aren't. These are the 598s that you recommended, right?
Yeah, HD 598. Yep.
Oh man, there's like, they used to be on Amazon Prime, and now I don't think they're available anymore. So I can only buy them from like another vendor on Amazon. That sucks. At least the one that's in the listing that's in my wish list. I'm gonna do a search real quick. Oh, here we go. SR open back headphones is what I want.
So it really depends on what you're looking for, to be honest with you. So what you're gonna want to do is kind of look at the sound profiles of these different headphones. So open back headphones, the ones that have like the mesh screen and everything, it sounds like it's you actually feel like you're getting the effects of the room as well, you know? Like it's more open, the sound stage is a little wider, you know, it feels more auditorium-esque, for lack of a better term. I'm really having trouble trying to describe it right now.
No, I get what you're saying. It's kind of like if you were like in a church, like that kind of like reverb type feel.
Yeah, but it's not quite reverb, you know what I mean? Like it's just open. You know, it's very strange to try to describe. Closed back headphone is going to emphasize more sound, more sound isolation. So what you hear more of what's in the headphones only, rather than the environment around you.
Okay, so I'm looking at because I did a search for just HD 598, and I'm getting two different ones here. One's the 598 SR, and one's the 590 SCS. The only difference is the impedance. The open back ones, the SR, is a 50 ohm impedance, and then the CS is closed back, and it's a 23 ohm impedance.
So they did that on purpose. With a sealed enclosure, you generally need a lot more power going to the drivers to get them to sound good, and that applies with like car audio, headphones, all over the place, right? With a like an open back or like a ported enclosure, for example, you generally don't need quite as much power. So the open backs are going to have a higher impedance because there's going to be less voltage really to drive that.
Hey, I actually understand what you're saying to me. Thank you, vape industry.
Right? Now playing that back in my head, I think I actually got that wrong. The closed back is going to require less voltage because the impedance is lower. That's so it doesn't have, you don't have to have like a big headphone amp to power that one, for example. Yeah, the open backs are going to require like a good headphone amp.
Because it's less resistance. I got you. I'm picking up what you putting down.
Right. That was more to clarify for the listeners that are listening to this down the road.
With that being said, the open back ones, which are the ones that I'm looking at here, the open back ones are $169, and I think the closed backs were listed for $144.
Yeah, so, I mean, I have a pair of Sennheiser HD 428s. I've had those damn things for like 6 years now.
Yeah, and I actually like those.
Yeah,
I think they sound great.
They're like consumer model Sennheisers that I got from like Best Buy one day. I was like, oh, those look like,
Right.
not realizing that Sennheiser's design cues are very similar across all of their, SKUs.
So what would you recommend in my case? Because I mean, I could go either way, to be honest.
Let me log over to Amazon real quick. I do
Yeah.
apologize my loud keyboard, but it's all the sexy clickies.
Yeah, right.
Oh
Yeah,
my
because I'm
gosh.
looking at the sound pressure level. Here, I can just give you the link. At the bottom of this page, there's a comparison of the different ones. Do do do. The 598s SR are 112 decibels. Looking at the sound pressure level. Not quite sure what sound pressure level means. But the closed backs are 115 decibels.
A sound pressure level. Have you ever heard of something referred to as SPL?
That's what it is. That's what I'm looking at here.
Right. So SPL is like to put it in to put it like easy. It's going to be like how punchy it is, right? So like for example, when people go to car audio competitions, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? Like they
Yeah,
do
yeah, yeah.
these custom audio rigs, they go to these competitions,
Sean
and
does those all the time.
yeah, exactly. So there's SPL, which is sound pressure level, which is basically how much air are your speakers moving, right? How much sound can they actually produce, right? And then there's SQL, right? And that's going to be sound quality levels, right? So or something to that effect, where it's more clarity based than anything, and that's actually where Sean does his competition. He does SQL, which is going to be like they don't even play like rap music in those competitions. It's more geared for like special effects out of movies and shit like that, like
Right.
Dolby.
The THX sound.
Oh my god, like that fucking thing. I have like vivid childhood memories of watching like movies and shit. And my okay, so my grandfather would leave to go, to his bike club or whatever, and I'd be at my dad's house. We and like he lived in a trailer out back because I don't know why, to be honest. I was very little. Um, so we go from the trailer to my grandfather's house, and he had a fucking bitching system. I'm not gonna lie, like you remember the old school stacks, like they had like usually at least one or two 12-inch drivers in them with some horns and some tweets. They're big
Yeah,
wood.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He had a bunch of those and everything. Oh my gosh, that system sounded amazing. And listening to that THX, my dad fucking loved it. And I think from that point on is where I became an audio fucking just nerd because I fell in
Right.
love with how that bass grabbed me by the heart and just vibrated my chest. And yes.
That's yeah. No, I know that feeling. It's not something I ever pursued, but I mean that's the main reason I love drums as an instrument so much, cuz when I was a kid, I don't even remember what grade I was in, but we had went to some show or some like jazz show or something at UNLV as like a field trip, and like as soon as the drum started I could just like feel it in my chest, and like ever since then I've always loved the drums. Unfortunately, I never actually learned how to play them, but I know the feeling.
Yeah. No, well, see, like that's just it. Like I think that's why I listen to a lot of like metalcore, is because like
Right.
those drum, especially when it gets to like the breakdown of the song. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love that. And I think I fell more in love with drums when I started playing like Rock Band and Guitar Hero and shit
Oh
like
hell
that.
yeah. Yeah, I played Rock Band with Gus and a couple of his friends the other night for the first time in literal years.
Yeah.
My fingers were so sore the next day.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I ultimately had to put my actual guitars down for a few weeks to let the blisters on my fingers settle down because I
Right.
literally played so much within just days. Like in a couple of days, I logged like 16 hours of fucking blade time on those guitars.
Well, I mean, you picked it right back up where you left off pretty much, so like there's a reason for that.
Right. And it was just, yeah. And I don't like classify myself as like, that's definitely I don't know. I still wouldn't call it my primary instrument.
Right. You're a saxophone, right?
Yes, but no. Saxophone, yes, but I honestly have not picked my horns up in years because, living in an apartment and playing a saxophone's not something that
Well,
goes good together.
what are you thinking is your primary then? Like turntables? Because like,
No, no, saxophone is my primary instrument. It's just
mhm,
I've neglected my instrument for a while.
gotcha. Yeah.
But I
Because
mean,
like,
that's the one I have the most fucking experience with,
yeah.
14, 15, 16 years, you
Yeah,
know.
because like turntables, don't get me wrong, like that takes some fucking skill and some talent. Like I remember back in your old man cave when you lived with your mom, uh, you had me try your turntables, and it was a fucking foreign language to me, pretty much. Um, but I don't know. Would you consider turntables like an instrument?
Yes and no. I wouldn't say that they're necessarily an instrument. They're certainly an instrumental tool.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't
Um,
want to like discount anybody who
oh, absolutely
fucks
not.
around on turntables. Like that is a definite skill and a definite talent that I don't have. And I have I mean, I consider you a DJ, even though you're not professional. I consider you a DJ because I've heard your shit and like it's quality. You know what I mean? So I have a lot of respect for people who dabble on that, but I'm not sure I would consider them an actual instrument.
No, they're definitely not an instrument, but there is something to be said about um hold on. There's something to be said about people that can definitely beat juggle and mix tracks and beat match and all that.
Absolutely.
All the things that you need to know how to do on DJ. The most crucial thing that people fucking forget is like to be a DJ. They are an artist. I'll give you that
Yeah,
by
absolutely.
full fucking reckoning.
An
Um,
artist, even a musician, if we're going that far.
right, because I mean you have to be able to read the floor that you're DJing for, or read the crowd as so to speak. It's the same thing as like a stand-up comedian when you're up on stage and you're doing your jokes and everything and you're trying to figure out what jokes are going well and what ones that you like you're okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and skip that portion of the fucking show. Like you got to be able to see the emotion that's written on everybody's face.
Yo, speaking of jokes, man, I want to put you on the hot seat here for a minute. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Yo, you were telling me, and this was recorded on Babelfish. I don't know if anybody who's listening to this has listened to Babelfish yet. If you haven't, definitely go check it out. You can find it pretty much anywhere podcasts are found. Babelfish podcast. Me and Justin are guests on it often. Anyway, you had mentioned on Babelfish that you have been getting some praise lately about just the stories you tell and your anecdotes and things like that. I want to know more about that, man. Are you gonna pursue that? I mean, what's going on with that?
I honestly haven't even given it much thought, to be straight up. Like like I enjoy making people laugh just like anybody else would. I would like to think I'm good at it, but I don't want to toot any horns or anything. Um
I'll toot your horn. That
but
means two things.
there's a I acquired a new customer at the shop. He stopped in because he was in the area. I was kind of just checking it out, and he's a professional stand-up comedian. Um, he has like I guess you would call it a residency at the L.A. Comedy Club in the Stratosphere. Um,
Is this
he's
somebody? Is this somebody? I mean, is he somebody we might have heard of? I mean, do you want to shout him out? I mean, he seems like he's a pretty cool dude.
He is. I'm not 100%. I remember his actual name.
Oh, gotcha, gotcha.
Um,
What if he just like stumbles upon this one day and he'll just gonna be so offended?
I doubt he'll be offended. Um, but let me. I'm totally trolling the internet real quick for any kind of pictures I might see of this guy.
Let me see if I can find him. Oh yeah, sorry for my clicky keys also.
To be quite honest, I don't really hear them all that bad on my end personally, but that could be the filtering of the voice thing that we're using.
Yeah, it's definitely picking up on Ableton. What's he look like? Hello?
Yeah, hold on. Well, I don't know. I've never been very good at describing people. Jesus, I gotta log into my LinkedIn. I haven't logged into this damn thing, and like, I honestly forgot I had one. Oh wow, I'm surprised. I have a. That's not him.
Is it James? James Michael?
No.
I don't know what that is.
His first name is Eric. Maybe I can find a clip of him on YouTube or something. I don't know. I don't know if I know his last name or not.
Eric Myers? Brad
No.
Garrett's Comedy Club? Is he like a skinny white dude?
Yeah.
Is this him? Hold on, I'm gonna drop a photo into Discord. Is that him? That's not. Wait. Oh, there we go.
Oh no, that's not him.
Oh, okay. Eric Knowles?
No, I want to say it's a like Eric Elwin or Eric Edwin. I can't remember, but basically no.
Damn it.
No, this dude is he kind of has like a black curly hair, almost like mine, but a little bit less coarse.
The reason I asked about the second dude is because he actually, I found his Twitter, and he actually pinned a thing from LA Comedy Club at the Stratosphere.
Oh, gotcha.
All right, well, see Eric, the comedy funny guy at the Stratosphere.
Yeah,
if you live in Vegas.
Yeah, he might like, and keep in mind that this is just over a couple of conversations I've had with this gentleman, so it could be like he just does like the open mic night a lot. I don't know.
Gotcha.
But he's getting paid to do it, so that leads me to believe that it's some sort of like paying gig, like a residency or something.
Yeah, if you're getting paid to do something, I officially consider you a professional at whatever that thing is.
Yeah, so okay, he's a professional comedian, and like I probably spent an hour and a half with him one day, just getting him introduced to vaping. Like, when he came in, he was like, yeah, I don't want to try this, man. I kind of want to, but I kind of don't, because I kind of feel like a douche doing it. I'm like, there's nothing douchey about it, Don't let other people's opinions bother you.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh no, everybody's opinion I don't care about. I'm a stand-up comedian. I have to be able to take. I'm like, oh,
right.
And like the small talk just fucking launched from there,
Well,
I told him stories about my past and shit like that, and he was laughing, like belly laughing,
So
and
I kind of want you to take your own advice on that. I kind of want you to give it a go, man, because. I mean, and this is something you've always known. Like, I've always thought you were a funny dude. Like, I mean, you're literally my best friend. Nobody makes me laugh like you do. But, I mean, if a professional is telling you, like, hey, you've got what it takes, take your own advice, man. There's always going to be people out there who are going to try to put you down, or there's going to be haters or people that, are going to make comments and shit like that. But I think you should ignore them and you should fucking go for it. Give it a try. Do an open mic night or something. Cause I know there's like smaller comedy clubs where you go up and do like a 5-minute set, tell 2 or 3 jokes and be done, just to give it a try.
I mean, I've honestly kind of been thinking about it. And, to be honest, like, if I were to do it, it would have to be completely like spontaneous almost.
Right,
we would have to be like out chilling somewhere, and then everybody's like, all right, and it's open mic night, whoever wants to come up and show what you got to the rest of the town, come on, whatever the fuck they want to do. I might just grab a beer and fucking head up.
I have to say, if that ever happens, if me and you are ever in a place, I'm immediately volunteering you. And you're going to hate
No,
me. You're going to yell at me because I know how your anxiety is and you're going to be so mad at me. But I'm going to make you do it because I know after your 5 minutes on stage or whatever, you're going to be like, that was fucking fun. I'll deal with you being mad at me for 10 minutes
yeah,
if
you know,
it means
and
that you get to try something.
and who knows? Maybe there'll be like the right person in the crowd. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
you're just chilling with his girlfriend, and like he actually like runs a fucking studio somewhere or something like that. You know?
Yeah, man, I think you should give it a go. I mean,
Oh,
being in a situation like that doesn't allow you very much time to like prepare. I think you should prepare just like a short set and give it a go, man. I think you'd have a blast with it.
yeah. Honestly, I don't think there's just any preparation for me, because like my style of making people laugh is not like I don't think I would be able to plan it out, and just like keep it in my back pocket and just, oh, in case there's a fucking stage, but
Right,
I
but
do
do you
have
think
like good
that
stories to tell and shit, and most of my shit's more anecdotal than anything.
but do you think that like if that situation were to happen where we were just like out having a beer or something and that actually happened, you would get on stage and be able to think of a story to tell just off the top of your head?
Probably.
Okay. I mean, in my case, I feel like I would freeze up.
No, because see, like I have sorry, people talking to me in multiple different forms right now. See, I have like like right now, I just literally just thought of it right before I started typing. I could talk about like the flux that the world is in right now with the tension between certain um powers, we'll say, without getting too much into politics, and track that all the way to where my brother being afraid of sharks. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like fuck it, I'll say it now. So like with all the tension and shit going on, there, it's really starting to make me a little scared because like, see, okay, so what happened is my brother had to join the military, and
Right.
he chose the Navy.
Right. Didn't you say at one point that your brother didn't know how to swim or some shit?
That's where I'm getting. So like he joined the Navy, and when he actually got in the Navy, I was in shock because as kids, me and my brother like couldn't swim. Like he couldn't swim. Me, I was a fish. Put me in a pool and I'm good.
Right.
My brother, nah, pebble straight to the bottom. It's ridiculous. So when I heard that he actually got accepted in the Navy and everything and passed the, training and all that, boot camp, whatever the fuck you want to call it, I was like, holy shit, this motherfucker like learned how to swim, huh? And like it really makes me worried because of all the shipwrecks that keep happening because it's right around my brother's fleet, and he's right around Guam and everything
Yeah.
where all this drama is happening around,
It's
and
a
it's
little
like, man,
nerve-wracking.
if his ship goes down, that boy is going to be a swimming motherfucker. Dude. Okay, so I'm going to kind of throw you under the bus for a second
Do it,
and
fam.
iterate one of your fears.
Do it.
So, Dustin Provy, this guy has an irrational fear of dinosaurs.
Yep.
Right, we fuck with him about it all the time. Like we have plans on like getting the big real semi-realistic costumes and like yeah, there's shit's happening. But
I get so much shit for that, dude.
my brother is so illogically fearful of fucking sharks.
Well, sharks still exist.
They do, but this is how fucking irrational it was. Us being from Tennessee, sharks, not a fucking problem.
Right.
Like, at all. Like, you can go to an aquarium and see one, maybe. Like, he was so fucking scared after watching Jaws and Deep Blue and all that shit that he actually showered with the door opened just ever so because he was scared that a shark was going to come out of the drain and get him.
Dude, I would love to get him in that shark thing that we did in the VR at Freddy's house.
Oh my god.
I would
The
love
boy
to
would
get him in
probably
that.
piss his pants, and that would make me so happy.
Of course it would. Yeah, I mean, I would count that as an irrational fear, especially coming from where you guys come from, and sharks definitely not being an issue.
Right.
Definitely not as irrational as dinosaurs.
Right, like
And
I could even understand fear of deer, like, oh my
Right.
god, I had a nightmare that I got impaled by their antlers.
you know what, man? Like, I never used to be afraid of dinosaurs. Like, I loved Jurassic Park when I was a kid. That fear somehow, somewhere, at some point developed, and I have no idea where it came from. It drives me nuts, dude. I get so much shit for it. Like, and like, let me clarify, because even my mom gives me shit for it, and she'll like send me like a picture of a cartoon dinosaur and be like, "Oh, does this scare you?" And I'm like, "No, it's a fucking cartoon." Like, if it's dinosaur related, it doesn't automatically scare me, but like, it's really the more realistic representations that get to me.
Yeah. Okay, so you being afraid of dinosaurs and shit, you said you liked Jurassic Park when you were a kid.
I loved it.
Have you seen Jurassic World?
Nope. I actually have a story about that. Me and Vinny and Aaron and a couple other people went and saw San Andreas when it was in theaters, and this was right before Jurassic World came out, and they showed the preview for it. I pulled my shirt up over my head, plugged my ears, and buried my face in a Vinny's shoulder, and literally told him, "Let me know when this is over." Because like as soon as the trailer started, I had a full blown anxiety attack.
Wow.
Yeah, it's bad.
Well-
It's intense.
One day, because I feel like you're missing out on a very good movie, and Chris Pratt actually did a good job in it, to be quite honest. There's a badass part that might actually change your opinion about dinosaurs, because, and a little bit of a spoiler alert, I'll go ahead and say it. There's a bit of the movie where Chris Pratt actually has like a team of 4 velociraptors trained to listen to his commands and shit, and like uses them to take down the mean dinosaur, the bad guy dinosaur. And it's actually pretty fucking sick, to be honest.
I don't think that's gonna be an easy feat for me, man. Have you been to Disneyland at all?
Yeah, Disneyland.
You know how there's that train that goes all the way around the park? And
Yes. The cave. The
Yeah.
cave. Oh,
yeah,
man.
when you get in the back behind It's a Small World and it has all the different scenes, there is a dinosaur scene, and this is my first memory of like having anxiety when it comes to dinosaurs. I don't think this is where the fear developed, but this is definitely the first memory I have of this anxiety. There's a dinosaur scene, and it's literally just like I think maybe 1 or 2 long necks in the distance, like animatronics, of course, but they're like quite a distance away, and they're like the most harmless of all dinosaurs. And like, I again had a fucking anxiety attack when I saw it. It just, yeah, I don't know if I could do it, man. I mean, like, I can laugh at myself about it, but like, if you sat me down and tried to get me to watch Jurassic World, I would be hyperventilating the entire movie.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I'll hold your hand.
Okay.
And like, I don't know. There's only one movie there's a couple of movies that scared the shit out of me when I was a kid, and I just haven't really watched them ever since. Like, one of them, like, is it like Attack of Mars or some shit like that? Mars Attacks. There you go. Yeah, it's just no. Like the little scenes where the people are like melting into the skeleton piles. I don't know. It scared the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
And it. The one that was released during my childhood. I hate the fact that they're remaking it because everybody is fucking talking about it, and I don't fucking give a shit about Pennywise. God damn it!
Oh, dude, I'm so excited. But I
hated that movie.
I've never been afraid of clowns though. Like, that is, I mean,
no,
like,
I'm just afraid of fucking storm drains now. Thankfully, I live in the desert and there's not a fucking lot of them. But in Tennessee, they're like every 6 goddamn feet.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, that movie did give me nightmares when I was a kid, but it wasn't the clown or the storm drain. It was actually when they turn on the sink and it fills with blood. Something about like that scene just fucking got me when I was a kid, man.
Yeah. When I was like real little, I watched the movie Poltergeist.
Yeah.
Like it was on. Like my parents were probably like, he won't understand what's going on. Yeah, bath time that night was fucking fun.
Yeah. Oh man, let me tell you, and my mom will attest to this story too. God, I don't know why she decided to do this, because like thinking back on it now, it's just like it seems like such a cruel thing to do, because I was like, God, I had to have been like 4 or 5. ABC did a mini series for The Shining. It's like 6 hours long. It's like 3 2-hour long episodes. And there's one scene. I don't know if you've read that book or not. If you haven't, you should. It's one of my all-time favorites. But there's a scene where Danny, the little kid in that story, is walking into one of the haunted rooms, and he's walking into the bathroom. It's got a closed shower curtain, and when he opens the shower curtain, there's just like this old, dead, like decrepit old lady. For some reason, my mom decided to show this to me when I was like 4 or 5 years old, and I would not fucking go into a bathroom for the longest time until my mom opened the shower curtain for me. Like she had to walk in, open the shower curtain before I could even pee.
Okay, so all right, that actually reminds me of a story for myself.
I'm dropping a picture. I'm dropping a picture of this fucking lady that scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
So when my mom and oh god, yeah, that would scare the shit out of me. Yeah. So when my dad and my mom were first together, right? They were, this. Keep in mind, my mom had me when she was 17.
Right.
Right. So it's very, very young to have a child. And my dad was 19. The like when they were dating and shit, my dad would be in the shower, right? And he had a habit of, apparently, when he would wash up, he would like suds up his hair, his face, and then just go ahead and do his body all in one fell swoop. You know what I mean?
Right.
And one time she decided she was going to join him, and jumped in the shower while he was all sudsy up and shit.
So his eyes are closed.
Yeah, his eyes are all closed and shit. He has no fucking idea she hopped in with him. She kind of snuck in there. When he fucking opened his eyes, like, oh my god. He fell in the shower, hit his head on the fucking faucet, shit like that. Like, it was bad. Like, it scared the shit out of him.
Oh man, that's hysterical.
I remember there being a movie or something where, or I don't know, like, what put it in my head, but ever since I've heard that, and I saw something else, like I said, I can't remember where it was, but there are some times where I'll get anxious with my eyes closed in the shower, and I feel like I'm gonna open them and there's gonna be something in front of me. Oh yeah, not necessarily someone, but something, like Jeepers Creepers or some shit.
Right. No, I think that's a common thing. I don't want to refer to that as an anxiety, but I mean, as a society, as a society, we're all fully aware of like horror movies and the shit that happens in them, and I think we all have that like tendency to be just in general creeped out when we're alone somewhere.
Right, a little uneasy, like when I'm in an unfamiliar house by my fucking self. That house is fucking haunted,
dude. Even when I'm in my own house by myself, I'm like, did I hear something in the kitchen? What the fuck was it? Like, I get real like creeped out.
All right, so you've been in my little like room setup, right? So from where I sit now out, like, depending on what lights are on and what time of day it is and shit like that, my living room, like my door to my room turns into a black fucking hole. Yeah. Right, you can't really see much beyond just right in front of the doorway.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you have the wall right there too, so with all the lights off.
Right, so there's not a whole lot of light that travels in here, and when you have the monitor light just blasting you in the face and you immediately try to look over there, you can't see anything. So try watching like UFO shit. Like, by the way, not ashamed to admit it, I fucking love that shit. I'm into it. Like Area 51, fucking UFOs, aliens. Yeah, fucking, I'm invested. You know what I mean? I'll watch that shit and I'll look out of my room, immediately start going into panic mode because I can hear, or I can just see in my head that there's gonna be like a fucking gray alien head that just comes out of the fucking dark, out of the darkness.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and you know, and then they're just gonna take me off to some place, and it's just gonna be bad.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, like,
I'm sure you'll be fine.
I'm sure I will too.
I'm sure you're more likely to get it like murdered by a demon than abducted by aliens.
Actually, to me, it's flipped. To be quite honest, although I've seen a lot of freaky shit in my time. You know, like there's. I'm not one that's going to completely dismiss the possibilities of spirits and shit walking in the same plane as us. You know, just because I have to have an explanation for shit that goes on. You know, like I'm very much a
Yeah.
for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. You know, shit like that, and shit has to make sense. You know.
Yeah, and I'm not sitting here saying like, oh, I believe in demons more than I believe in aliens.
No,
I'm not confirming nor denying what I believe or don't believe, but like, if both demons and aliens happen to be real, you know, demons exist in our world, whereas aliens not so much. They're off doing their own thing in space.
Right. And let's be completely honest. As far as like being able to travel those vast distances and everything, well beyond our technology currently, although we're getting closer. I'm not going to say we're not, but you know, and by those standards, we are definitely an infant civilization.
Oh yeah, I don't think we have anything to offer to an alien civilization.
Not right now. No, not until we get past the differences of our race and start you know, uniting as one for one common goal. Unfortunately, it's going to take a cataclysmic event to do that.
What are you thinking? Like World War III?
I don't even think
North
World
Korea.
War III. You know, I don't even think that. I think it's going to actually boil down, because I think right now we have mutually assured destruction. You know what I mean? Because you have the U.S. and they have a stockpile of fucking bombs. You got Russia; they've got a stockpile of fucking bombs. North Korea's fucking bad shit. You know, like
yeah.
like, you know, like that's what we're sitting in right now. We are only safe because we all know if something pops off, that's the end of the fucking world. Right?
Right.
There's going to be so much destruction. There's going to be so much waste. So nobody's doing anything, hopefully, knock on fucking wood, because of that mutually assured destruction, right? So like, this person's got a bomb, this person's got a bomb. They both fucking destroy whatever they hit, and then some, for the next 100 and fucking some odd years. You know, it's you know. So I don't even think it's going to boil down to that, because I think people are starting to get a little too smart to fall on firepower. But I'm also giving a lot of credit too, so take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be resources. I think we're going to starve our planet of a crucial resource that we won't be able to really return from unless we depopulate it.
I mean, we were talking about this on Bobblefish. I did that yesterday too. I called it Bobblefish. Yeah. we talked about that on Babblefish too with I think, was it Joe Rogan that you guys brought up? For anybody who doesn't listen to Babblefish, we spoke about this. Joe Rogan, who is a very popular comedian, firmly believes that the only purpose of the human race is to kill planet Earth. We are a fucking parasite to planet Earth. Because if you think about it, planet Earth is very much a living thing. As a whole, it is a life of its own, and we are its fucking fleas.
Right.
I can't disagree with that.
No, absolutely not. You know, and like, and Joe Rogan's illustration of that was beautiful. He's like, when you're flying into LA, when you're first coming in, you see the blue skies, you see the water, you see the beautiful mountains, you see this landscape that the earth has carved out over the years and years and years of age that is so, elegantly gone through, and then you get over them and you see Los Angeles, and it's getting bigger, and
Yep.
it's getting bigger,
And
it's getting
smoggier.
bigger, and smoggier, and dirtier. It fucking stinks, and that, if you think about it, if you look at it, and this is still pretty much quoting Joe Rogan, mind you.
Right.
If you look at a fucking sandwich and you see a bit of mold on the crust, you no longer see a sandwich, you see fucking mold.
Right.
Right. And that's what LA is essentially is on the landscape that would be just Earth.
Right.
So yeah, we are very technologically advanced. We are far beyond where we should be. And I'm also one of those people that, I've taken cues from like Star Trek, for example. In the years of Star Trek, where they're actually at the point of exploring space and everything, the human race, I mean, that's well into the future. And the human race, they iterate this century so many times as
Right.
being an archaic century where people used to fight other people because of what skin color they were and shit like that. And
Right.
everything was about greed. Everything was about how much money and social status you had and shit like that. Now everything is united, and everybody just wants to know, how does this work? Why does this thing do that?
Right.
They're explorers now. They've united as one. They put their differences aside and fucking embraced them into, obtaining the same goal essentially.
Right.
And I honestly don't think we're going to hit that point until we have shit available to literally everybody, where
Yeah.
money is not even a thing anymore. Because if you think about it, then once they create warp technology, I'm getting a little nerdy here, guys, but welcome to the fucking round table, right?
Right.
Once
Roundtable
they
Junior.
right. Once they invent, fucking, God damn it, what was I saying?
People suck is what you were saying, pretty much.
Well, once they invent warp technology, they're able to use the power and everything of it to create replicators, right? So you can walk up to a fucking hole in the wall and go, Earl Grey tea, hot, like the ever so awesome Captain Picard would, or somebody can go up and ask for tomato soup, creamy, whatever the fuck, having that ability is going to stabilize the equity / equality of everybody that's out there, right? Then there will be no need to have to worry about, oh, well, this person is keeping that person down, or this person is doing that, because at that point, what crime would you commit?
Right.
Everything is right there in that little magical hole. You don't need a weapon anymore. There's no need to fight anybody, right? Everybody has everything, and ultimately, I think we need to head towards something like that. But unfortunately, greed is very, very addictive. So
yeah, well, I see where you're coming from, and I don't disagree with you, but I think you're looking at it from a much smaller scale.
Yeah, I am.
Because you're talking about food. Like, yeah, we're gonna end hunger, but like, there's still gonna be the homeless. You know what I mean? There's still gonna be people fighting over oil and other resources. There's still gonna be third world countries.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I think the understood statement behind that would be like, once we get to that point where we're so technologically advanced, we're able to do that kind of stuff. I think shit like homeless people, wars, in third world countries, all that's going to be a thing of the past, and as far as third world countries go, yeah, they don't have the availability that other people do, but for the most part, that's their choice. You know what I mean? That's a part of their culture. Just like there's people that live right here in the US that actually don't own a home, or, or they build their own home out in the wilderness that nobody really has claimed, you know what I mean, like Alaska Men or whatever the fuck show that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
There's people that they are, Native Americans, and they might have a home now because everything is modernized and everything, but like some cultures are very much about like live off the land and give back to the land.
Yeah.
you know
I mean, I think you're making a very strong statement here.
Am I?
I think
Am I
so.
overstepping?
Well, no, not necessarily. I mean, because like that's the point of doing a podcast, is to get your thoughts and your opinions out there. And I'm
honestly just talking. God
Yeah,
knows what the fuck's coming out of his mouth right now.
right. I the reason I say that's a strong statement is because I mean the whole point of a third world, not the point, but the reason, the whole reason a third world country is a third world country is because they don't have the funds. That's not necessarily something that they're able to choose. You know what I mean? It's
Right,
just
okay.
they're poor. They can't quite afford to Western, because let's be real here. Westernization is all well and fine. It brings people modern day medicine. It brings people modern day technology. And it is what it is. But it's not cheap. It's not cheap to get where our Western culture has gone.
Right. But again, that all that just spins right back to what I said earlier. Once we get rid of currency, that's a non-issue.
Right.
We have the availability to do that for literally everybody, because getting a little bit more into like warp cores and technology and shit, that is a fuck ton of power that they're able to produce at that point, almost unlimited. There would be no reason for anybody to not have anything available to them. And it's like so that we wouldn't even know what a third world country was anymore.
Right.
We just we would take their hand, not even that. We would just implant people there, learn how to communicate, for languages that we may or may not know exactly what they're talking about or whatever. All right, learn how to communicate, build up their communities, teach them how to do something like that they want to do. If that's if their skill is more mining than science, then cool. If their skill is science more than mining, cool. Whatever the case may be. I don't want to come off like I'm sounding like they're not going to be doctors or anything. That's certainly a possibility, but
right.
I don't know. Like it's certainly something that is intriguing for thought.
It kind of all, like, I think anyway, it kind of starts with education. Going back to like what you were saying about what their career might be. If and when that time comes for that kind of thing to take place, it's really going to start with education. You know what I mean? The more people we can educate, the more people will be out there who will be doctors and things that are really going to contribute to a society who started out as a third world society to better themselves, because like education again is expensive, and that's one thing that a lot of third world countries are lacking is education.
Right.
Available education.
Right. Like I said earlier, we're going to have to put aside differences and availabilities to people, like I said, if we unite as a people, there's not going to be anything as such as a third world country and their society. I wouldn't say necessarily their culture, but that third world country society that you're talking about would definitely fade away, because it would just start to become more into the only society, which would be everybody. You know what I mean?
Like Pangea.
Maybe we're just dreaming.
This bitch don't know about Pangea.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
It's a little dicky lyric, sorry.
Oh.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this. We've been recording for about 58 minutes, so...
Okay, cool. So we're done with the podcast?
Yeah, you sound excited.
No, I've been kind of like trying to actively listen for my door and shit.
Yeah, shit happens. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and end this here. I guess if you want to hear more podcasts like this with Justin, let me know. I may sign up for a SoundCloud or something to do that in addition to YouTube. But until next time, do you want to say anything, Justin?
Be easy. Be sure to leave some love in the comment section. Be sure to like, subscribe, and all that glorious things. You guys have been beautiful, and thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Hey, Justin, where can I find you?
Oh, everywhere. Smiley_dank. Literally on almost everything. If you need Discord information, if you want to play some games or whatever, just hit me up on Twitter, Smiley_dank. You know, shoot me a DM, shoot me a tweet, whatever you feel. No bigs. Let me know.
All right.
Snapchat, Google, all that shit. Everything.
Hell yeah. Smiley_dank. And on that note, bye, friends.
Drop it.